Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Freedom Steel. I know it's been a little while. Todd Vandermite, former NRA contract lobbyist and all-around Illinois gun law guru. So, a couple of things here. Thanks for all the heartfelt wishes when I did the live broadcast the other night and mentioned my grandson. He is home from the hospital, still awaiting a few more tests, but he's home and he's being a happy little baby. So, thanks for all the concerns and everything. So today, my eyes are gonna be darting around, and my gaze maybe but going a couple places as I pull documents up on my computer screen. So bear with me there. So the defendants and the gun bans have filed their briefs. Cook County, the city of Chicago, and the state of Illinois. And so, and I think Naperville is in there somewhere, but I haven't seen that one. But this is why I'm not a fan of the Herrera case and the way they did things, because Herrera they challenged not only the state ban, they challenged the Cook County ban and the Chicago ban. And the largest significant difference between those bans is that the Chicago and Cook County bans are possessory bans. You cannot own or possess one of the enumerated so-called assault weapons within those limits. Now, the Cook County ban gets to be a little more dicey because Cook County is the only home rule county that there is in the state of Illinois. And yet, our Constitution says if there is a conflict between the state or between the municipal law and the county law, the municipal law prevails. That's why you have gun shops in Roselle. You have or not Roselle. Roselle's DuPage County. You have gun shops in Lamont. You have gun shops in Des Plaines. You have gun shops in Lincolnwood. You have gun shops in Dalton. You have all that stuff because they're within municipal corporate limits. Therefore, they are exempt from the Cook County regulations per se. And people could go in there and, prior to the state ban, go in and buy all this stuff. So, well, there's that. But here's the other part. You know, right now I'm being told that our side is being held to a single brief in the four consolidated cases that fall under Barnett. And so that could be one very short brief. That means that currently Cook County filed their brief, 92 pages. Chicago filed their brief, 91 pages. The state filed their brief, 131 pages. So we have a combined total between those three, and that does not count Naperville, of 314 pages of argument against our side. And we'll see what the tally is for our side. Our brief is not due until the 16th of June, 8 more days. And it looks like we're held to a single brief. Now, whether or not we get an oversized brief or how these other guys got oversized briefs, I don't know. But we will see what comes up on that. And that is why I'm not a fan of these other litigants. So, if we are held to a shorter brief, and I'm reading the order, which is confusing because it says one litigant may file only one brief in all 5 consolidated appeals, and the court encourages multiple litigants on the same side to file joint briefs to the extent possible. So here you have 3 actors, Chicago, Cook, and the state, filing 314 pages, and yet we're being told that all 4 out of the Southern District have to file a single brief. And that could be as little as 25 pages. I'll get some clarification on that. The good news is they rehash all the same arguments. There is nothing new in what I have read so far. I haven't gotten through all 314 pages, but they are They are much the same in what they have been arguing, and let's talk about for a second here. We'll go to, as I scroll through this, Kwame Raoul in Herrera. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so here is the Cook County brief. And the Cook County brief opens up and issues presented. One, whether assault weapons and large capacity magazines are arms within the text of the Second Amendment, where Herrera has failed to carry his burden to show that they are modern weapons that facilitate armed self-defense. All right, so let's get to this. There's a lot to unpack in that first statement. Whether or not semi-auto guns are arms. The text of the Second Amendment is clear. That's just erroneous bullshit. Whether or not magazines are arms, we've seen that argument before. That modern weapons, that they are modern weapons that facilitate armed self-defense. Again, they're trying to twist the test. The test is, and Mark Smith over at Four Boxes Diner does a very good job of this. And Mark, direct appeal to you, and I'm going to do a separate video on this. I think you should file an amici brief about the test from New York to the Seventh Circuit and lay out why Friedman was wrong from Heller et al. And just go at it. I think that you've got a great grip on this subject matter, and I think it would be highly energizing, entertaining, and informative to sit there and read a brief from you on behalf of some parties. So we've got they're trying to twist the test. The test is, does the Second Amendment cover keep, bear, acquire, train? Yes, the Second Amendment covers that in the plain text. Burden shifts to the state. The state has to show that there's a historical history and tradition of broad-based bands like this. And they're scooping up Bowie knives because that's all they can conjure up. No. All right, so number two, issues presented. Whether assault weapons and large capacity magazines are arms, and show that they are, and here's where they're twisting things. Whether assault weapons and large capacity magazines are arms within the text of the Second Amendment, where Herrera has failed to carry his burden to show they are commonly used, rather than merely owned or possessed for lawful purposes and are not dangerous and unusual. Full stop. This is where Mark gets it completely right. The test is, are they arms covered by the Second Amendment? If the answer is yes, we're done. Burden completely shifts to the state, to the government actors. So when I use the term state, generally it could be the feds, it could be the state of Illinois, it could be Cook County, it could be Chicago. State in my vernacular refers generally to the state actors, the government actors. So here, they want to twist. Remember, Heller said it is an individual right for lawful purposes, such as self-defense within the home, such as they want to eradicate, such as. Big thing here. Three, whether even assuming an assault weapons and large capacity magazines are arms, the county's ordinance prohibiting their ownership is consistent with this nation's history and traditions, which is undisputed that the government has traditionally banned or strictly limited possession of weapons regularly used by individuals to rapidly inflict mass casualties. Wow, they're trying to equate semi-auto guns, whether it be a threaded barrel on a Glock or whatever, to machine guns, Tommy guns from the National Firearms Act, and likely explosive devices like the state showed with manpats and all that other stuff. So these are the issues that are being litigated by the state actors. This is the premises there. All you have to understand is the place they're coming from as to how they're going to frame their arguments. Then after that, I'll go through each of these briefs, but at 92, 91, and 131 pages, you're looking at, I can probably, depending on how much gobbledygook they put in there, I can probably get through about 25 pages in a 15-minute video. I mean, here I'm at the 10-minute mark, and all I've done is cover 3 paragraphs on 1 page to explain what these numbskulls are doing. Let's take a quick look here. And let's see, which one is this brief? All right, so this is the state's brief. We're going to take a real quick look at this. Jurisdictional statement. Issues presented. All right, so again, we have 3 issues presented. Whether plaintiffs failed to show that they are likely to succeed on the merits of their claims that the Act's restrictions on assault weapons and large capacity ammunition feeding devices violate the Second Amendment, where they did not show that the regulated items are covered under the Second Amendment's text, and where the Act's restrictions are consistent with the historical tradition of regulating firearms. Bullshit. We did show that they are arms covered under the Second Amendment. The judge found in our favor, you idiots. Whether Herrera failed to show that he is likely to succeed on the merits of the claim that the Act's endorsement affidavit requirement violates the Second Amendment, where he failed to show that requirement is covered under the Second Amendment's text, and where the requirement is consistent with the historical tradition of firearm registration requirements. Ooh, this is going to get interesting. All right, so they're going after the registration component here. All right, that's going to open up a new door. Interesting thing is, I'm going to wonder whether or not they're going to regurgitate some of the stuff they did in the FOID card case with GSL in Sangamon County. I've been meaning to do a video on their brief there, because their brief there, I believe, undercuts this. Alternatively, whether plaintiffs have not shown they lack an adequate remedy at law or will suffer irreparable harm absent an injunction, where the balance of equities favors defendants and the public interest. Okay, so the state is taking a slightly bigger picture look at all of this. And now let's jump over to, this should be the city of Chicago. Yep, city of Chicago. Let's see, what do we have? Jurisdiction. Nope, okay. Statement of the case. Summary of argument. Oh, wow. This is going to be. All right, the city's brief on Herrera is going to get into some more nuanced stuff, because as I go back through parts of this, it's because he does training as a medic with a SWAT team, and parts of this is he has to go outside the city by an hour to retrieve his AR, and the city's arguing about all that. So the city's brief is going to be a real interesting video. So hey, quick update here. Wanted to let everybody know about that. We're going to put this one out. We will be getting more videos. It's Thursday. I have a board meeting at Aurora Sportsman's Club today. I have a conference call with lawyers today, and I've got trucks to unload and gravel to knock down out there for some new space. I've got a ton of stuff going on, and then I've got a couple of trucks of concrete blocks showing up, and I'll be running 10 truckloads of those today and tomorrow. So we have a ton of stuff going on out here. But as always, I want to thank all my followers, and even you felonious followers under the pistol brace stuff. Grateful for all your support. We keep building viewers. I know I've been a little remiss in cranking out content, but it has been a whirlwind around here between family issues and everything else. We appreciate all your support. So please like, copy, subscribe, paste this link into other venues and forums, social media places, to let everybody know. We really do. We appreciate it. The wall of stuff behind me keeps growing. Got some more submissions to try to figure out. I may need to have a studio and just have a whole wall of stuff and all that kind of stuff and everything. So with all that, guys, stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming your way. Going to try to crank out a ton this weekend and just keep popping them out there. So as always, Frag out.